Wake up, buyer payer people. It's a beautiful day. Go grab yourself another cup of joe and say hello to Jim and Michelle Rhoads on the Buy Here Pay Here Morning Show. Take it away, you two.
Hey, good morning from
Las Vegas.
Las Vegas,
New Mexico, of course.
Yeah, no, Las Vegas, Nevada.
Nevada.
We are going to be, after we're done with our broadcast today, packing up and heading back to Salt Lake.
Yeah.
Really, really, really great meetings, and it's been a good.
Yeah, we saw a lot of folks. Of course, many folks were in town for the BHPH United Summit. Heard that went really well. They had over 400 attendees, so that's excellent news. We were there Tuesday for the Neo User Summit, and then we moved offsite and did our business meetings. We had strategy meetings with some members of our team. We're here in Vegas, and we brought several in virtually, and it was very productive.
Oh my goodness!
And,
it was amazing yesterday. Our meetings. So, great trip, and ready to be heading back. Today's a special day. We're about 2 years into broadcasting, and so we're on our 300th episode today, which is it's a pretty special benchmark for us, our accomplishment. So we're pretty excited about that. And and I have to say, is StreamYard, our streaming actually Facebook has changed a lot of the rules about streaming, so it couldn't have come at least opportune time.
So we don't know. We tried to set up some additional streams this morning, kind of last minute. It doesn't seem to be working properly, so hopefully you can find the broadcast. And if you those who see it on the morning show thread, really what we'd recommend is just start to follow the page that is a BHPH Morning Show podcast, and that way you'll be sure to find it
there. So any other announcements?
No, I know we have some guests coming up next week. We make more announcements across social media on those upcoming guests. Let's see, we've got
hard to believe that it's May almost.
It is
almost May, which means that we're only about 6 weeks away from the national conference, 7 weeks away from the national conference.
We got that coming up.
So
Yep. So and that'll be back here in
Back in Vegas. We'll be back down for that. Jim's going to be moderating a dealer panel for that.
Yeah, look forward to that. And I got that coming up. We got our V8 Group 3 meets on Tuesday night, I believe, the 30th. So
that's the newbies.
Right, that's the newcomer group, and so that's for dealers up to 100 accounts. So if anybody's out there looking to jump in one of those, we've still got time. Just reach out to me right away if you want to get in that Tuesday meeting. And we've really had an interesting time socializing. V8 with some of the people that we met at the summit, at the Neo User Summit, and it's just been interesting to hear the feedback from people about how that's working and what. Whether that is a solution for them, and we know that it is for many, and they're starting to kind of see that.
Yeah,
right?
we're big fans.
Yeah.
So we wanted to kind of talk today a little bit and share some of the well wishes that we have received from friends and associates in the industry, and just kind of talk about some of our favorite parts and what we how we feel about this momentous occasion.
I think, for me, it obviously, and you reflect on 300 episodes, a lot of really, great moments. We've had tremendous guests from everybody from state associations, national associations, dealers. We've had some vendors. We've had, mostly dealers have been our guests. And I just think what we, we've had some fun moments. I think of some, I remember, one of my first things I think of was the first time Jack Carter joined us, and he was coming to us from the auction. Like, he's found a table at the side, and you got dealers walking by and speaking to him.
That's
from
real.
The auction.
And I think most of the times that he joins us, it's been in his car or whatever. Well, which
I love. I just love
the
idea that
he's out there doing the thing,
bringing dealers, from where they are, and it's part of what we want folks to recognize about this podcast track by doing live, we can just come to you from wherever you are, wherever we are. Like, we don't have to go to a lot of, and we've proven over 300 episodes. We don't have to prepare much. Like, we just show up.
Yesterday at some of our meetings, there were some people that were participating in it, and they actually, no, it was the night before when we were at dinner and talking to some of our colleagues, and they said, how do you come up with topics? And it's like, are you familiar with Buy Here, Pay Here? There's always something happening and something going on that it would make a good conversation. And so things will cycle through. And so it might be something that we've talked about in the past, but a different perspective and all of that. So it hasn't been as difficult as people, when we told everyone that we wanted to do it live 3 days a week, that there were a lot of our friends and colleagues just like, I don't know how you're going to do it. And it has not been that hard to find good things to talk about. No,
it's as we talked about earlier, like there's always going to be stuff to talk about. We're not going to run out of topics. Now, there are mornings that it's more difficult because we're traveling and we haven't been well prepared, and we need to decide on one. It's not that there's not plenty of stuff to talk about. You just got to decide, what belongs where. And of course, we prefer to bring guests whenever we can, get the schedule lined out and get far enough ahead and plan guests. Then we like to do that, and we'll continue to do that. So we want you to hear from, especially other dealers.
Yeah, and I would say that as we move forward from here, that you'll see more and more of that being more structured about the topics and that, because we are on the precipice of some organizational growth that is really exciting for us, and it's going to improve everybody's experience, our experience and your experience of being able to find us for the morning show and other things that we currently offer, but it will become a better and better and better experience for all, which is wonderful.
Yeah, for sure. So our meetings this week were largely around strategic planning, bringing our founding sponsors, bringing current partners, potential partners, and just advisors to the meetings. And wow, we got some really excellent feedback. We're starting to really look hard at the technology side of our company, and this morning is another example of why we need technology help, right? So
exactly. Yeah. It's funny how many people come to us now and say, "Hey, what are you guys using? What's your platform? Yeah. What's your thing?"
Don't ask us. We don't know.
Exactly. Our interim CEO, Jerry Martinez, which we're going to try to get on the show next month at some point to talk about his experience and all of that. He's starting a podcast for the History Channel. And so we were just running down, what's the equipment? What's your platform? All of that. And so he was super excited yesterday in the meetings. He's like, guess what, Michelle, the light ring got delivered today. And so that's pretty sweet. So, and we've had other vendors that have reached out to us that have said, hey, we're starting online learning or a podcast or whatever. Can you give us some tips and show us around what it is that you use? And so it's been really great. That's one of the things that I really, really love about where we are as a company, as individuals, as colleagues, as coaches, is that there is a level of trust from those that we interact with, that they know that they can reach out and they know that they can ask us, and we're not going to be proprietary about a lot of, I'm not going to share with you how we've had success with the podcast or, any of that kind of stuff. It's like, of course, we're here to help build up, even if it's something like just how do you broadcast? How do you do something like this?
Yeah, and that's another thing that came up this week is kind of the thing about the all ships rise thing, which we talked about, way back more than a year ago. We kind of talked about that subject of, all ships rise, and you either have that mentality or you don't. It's been my experience. And so for those of us who have that, it's nice to be able to bring people in to certainly to our circle of what we're doing, and to be able to build something that is inclusive and is meant to certainly we think first about dealers and how to improve the experience for dealers. And we know that we have an opportunity in doing that to improve the experience for consumers. And so it's just like, why wouldn't we do that? We want to bring all the people with all the skills and all the resources to that undertaking. And so that's part of what our meetings were about. And it really felt good to get, another kind of big step on the ladder, if you will. And so it was really a pivotal kind of event for us, and felt good to kind of turn a corner. You want to read some?
I want to just, we've gotten a few congratulations about the 300th episode. And so we're going to take a quick commercial break and show one of those, and then we'll continue the conversation.
Howdy, Jim and Michelle. The Jim's team of George and Anthony congratulate you on this huge milestone. Thank you very much for all you do. And we hope we have many more smoked old fashions around the campfire before any of us ride off into the sunset.
So smoked old fashions, that's been a fun thing that we have done over the course of the last couple of years. We did a smoked old fashioned tour. We went to a lot of different places, and we were very active on social media, talked about it too on the morning show. And it was funny. We were at dinner the night before last, and with some colleagues and dealers, and there was this cart that was, where did we go to dinner? Do you remember?
It's called Barry's Downtown Prime.
Yeah, and it's down on Fremont Street. Never been there before. It was really, really great. But they had a cocktail cart that went around, and as we were walking in, we saw someone that they were making a smoked old fashioned there at the table, and we were like, yes, we haven't had a good one of those in a minute. And so it was really, really nice. And I appreciate George Spat and those at Gems, remembering that, and the congratulations. One of the things I wanted to, the meetings like we said we had yesterday, we've got some great announcements that are coming up. We're not quite ready to have until ink is dried on certain things, but the person that we talked about, Jerry, is our interim CEO. And that's just kind of means that he's there holding place and being an advisor to us until we find a person that can step in on the role of our CEO. And we have found that person. And so they were at the meeting, and this, I just really, really appreciate him and his expertise across a lot of different industries. And he sent us a message to us personally after our meetings yesterday. And he says, it was very encouraging that Chris Machika from Pastime was with us, stressed the importance of being vendor agnostic. Yeah. This mentality unlocks way more potential and allows us to truly develop trust.
Right.
And he says we could become advocates for dealers to vendors on programs and pricing, helping people get aligned with the best partner for them. It is so exciting. And I love that kind of energy about and awareness of this is, we're so grateful for our White Hat Way founding sponsors and how they have put that trust in us to stay agnostic, and that includes them. And so it was beautiful to talk yesterday about how what we are doing is again trying to align dealers with vendors that best fit their needs, not vendors that we have close relationships with. And so that's really something that has been so important to us. And, and we've talked to different vendors here and there, and it's like, yeah, we would like to be able to sponsor this. We'd like to be able to sponsor that, but we want to be the only one. And it's like, I'm sorry, we can't offer that. We can't offer, we won't offer that. Well, we can't if we're going to stay integrity with, we want to be agnostic. And so it's, of course that your product or whatever is something that we will offer as an option, when if it's a fit for the dealer. But, that being agnostic is just, and I remember too, quite a while ago, we were having some meetings with a colleague, and we talked about being agnostic, and that didn't set as well, the being agnostic part, and that that some of the parting words in friendliness were, I don't know how you're going to be able to stay agnostic. And that was a few years ago. And it just, and it really hasn't been as hard to do that as it would appear to others that it would become. Do you, I'm going to read something that we got from one of our, you want to read that one? Okay.
Yeah. So from Robert and Kara Hernandez, they're dealers that we come to know out of San Antonio. They're members of our V8 dealer group. And Robert sent in a nice note saying, the concise BHPH Morning Show provides us with motivation, continued learning, and better appreciation for the challenges and opportunities ahead. Jim and Michelle are excellent moderators, and their unbiased approach of knowledge sharing, integrity, and expertise will contribute to the overall improvement of the image and reputation of the BHPH industry across the country. Congratulations on your 300th episode. So thanks, Robert and Kara, for that. That's very kind of you. I'm blushing. Isn't it blushing? That's very complimentary. We appreciate that.
It is. It's
kind of you.
It is. It's very kind.
Yeah.
We really appreciate, as we talk to dealers along the way, that, one of the things that dealer after dealer after dealer is like, thank you for bringing education. And we talked a little bit on Wednesday about that one of the along with people saying, hey, how are you going to come up with new topics? Another thing that was said that that we believe is we know because of our experience is not true, is that when we give so freely of education, that it will diminish our ability to really have any offering. It'll diminish the industry. It'll diminish, and it's like that has been such. The opposite of that has been our experience. We have met amazing vendors and dealers through this, been able to connect people in just beautiful ways through what it is that we've done with the podcast. And it's one thing that has just been so beautiful is that when a dealer, there is a lot of education, there is a lot of free education, but sometimes a dealer doesn't know how to apply or doesn't know how to put the pieces together. And that's, that we get phone calls. It's like, hey, I've been watching, I've been listening, and how, can you help me with this? And so if anything, giving freely has opened up the ability for us to be able to help more deeply with dealers that are out there. And that is just such a blessing, because the simple things that we teach 3 days a week are things that dealers need to know, and things that will help dealers to be able to grow and to be stronger and to be able to avoid very costly mistakes. And we recognized from the gate that most dealers can only find their education either at a conference, in a 20 group, or on YouTube. And I don't know if very many of you have been on YouTube to see some of the stuff that's out there from dealers teaching other dealers. And it's like, there's some really misinformation and information out there that might get people excited about profits, but it will, can potentially lead them into some really interesting negative consequences. So it's been a beautiful thing to be able to share in this way.
Sure.
Too.
Yeah, absolutely. You want to play another video?
I do.
I want to get connected to the stream over here myself so that
okay.
I can.
Congratulations, Jim and Michelle. 300 episodes. What an accomplishment.
the executive director of our national organization.
I think he's now called the CEO.
Is he now?
National? I think so. Yeah.
Oh, okay. The CEO, Jeff Martin. He's a friend. We've known him for. Jim's known him a lot longer than I have.
Yeah, I've known him for many years, and he's, he's widely respected, and we're grateful for him taking a moment to congratulate us. And I think, as I hear you talk about that, the 300 episodes now, showing up and just trying to provide information to dealers, and that's not going to stop. We're going to continue to gather information, gather expertise, and bring it. So I guess if 2 years is 300, I was trying to think ahead to how many years will be 3,000 episodes. We're going to continue
10
to do this.
or 10, 20 years?
Yeah.
Something like that. We're not going away anytime soon. This is actually, that's one of the things as we're talking to our executive team about how do you want to grow? What position? How we want to participate. And we're like the morning show, the podcast, that we're still going to be on the air. You may see other hosts on certain times and days of the week that will be here running the podcast, but you can rest assured that there will be continued education that will be coming from us in a regular fashion. And so because there's still more to teach. For sure. There's still more people to reach.
Oh yeah. Yeah, absolutely. So we'll continue there. I think I don't know that I've got anything else. I mean, we could certainly.
I wanted to read something from Karen Barnett, who is she is one of our ambassadors for White Hat Way, and she says, "Thank you for all the dedication, inspiration, and commitment that you have brought to the wonderful world of Buy Here, Pay Here. 300 episodes. Wow! I will see you at NIADA and cheers on the next 300."
Very nice. Okay.
Very nice.
She's thinking 600. I'm thinking 3,000. But you gotta work your way there, right? So
exactly.
Yeah. No, that's great. Thanks, Karen. So yeah, I think obviously we can recount some more favorite memories. We've had guests from the National Association. Some of our fun episodes have been around. I remember having a good laugh with you when we talked about our Swahili.
Oh yeah,
that was fun.
That was a lot of fun.
It's been a good laugh for lots of folks. I snuck up on Michelle. For those who didn't see it, we'll have to find that and share it.
And I'm going to try to get Jim to bring out that sense of humor, because he makes me laugh all the time. One of my more favorites was we had last year, leading up to NIADA's conference, we had a couple of dealers that were we organized with NIADA, and they were there to kind of talk about why they're attending the conference. And we met Candace Price on that. And what a inspiration to us, and we believe to other dealers, about how you can become such a force of positive change for our customers. And when I say our customers, so maybe you're like, you're vendors, so your customers are dealers. It's like, ultimately our customers are consumers, are your customers, because we're just trying to help you be able to relate to them better and have the tools and the knowledge you need to help them succeed. And so it was so wonderful to hear all of the things that she's doing in her neck of the woods in Nebraska. We've had her on the show a few different times, and just really what a great dealer.
And I remember we clued in whenever she used the phrase knowledge cap. Like she was the first one we heard really use that phrase. And so it's part of what we have tried to, we borrowed that phrase from her and trying to express to others what it is we're referring to in this area about education for consumers, and how we can help dealers have a better experience by helping to educate their consumers. We can make that available, and we continue to work in that direction. So that. And then I remember, having a lot of fun with, with Bill Elizondo whenever
Bill on a stick, or Bill on a drill.
That Benny on a stick, and then that later turned into Bill on a drill. So that was, I think we did that live we did the Bill on a drill thing was that our 200?
Yeah, it was. Yeah. It was our 2, or it was, It was our 200th episode.
Yeah. So anyway, we're aging, and some of this stuff is hard to remember, but yeah, it was. I think it was our 200th. But anyway, it's been fun to do that. I remember the first time we tried to host that. We didn't realize apparently we need to set up like a green room experience. So when we started the broadcast, these guests that we had invited, which were several, they were all just on the screen, and we weren't prepared for that. We thought they were going to be backstage, and we would admit them one by one. So it was kind of, it's part of live. I mean, we have had a number of technical hiccups and snags along the way, and it's obviously part of going live. And so it's been a fun experience. Like overall, we enjoy it. We obviously enjoy working together, and we enjoy what we're doing and bringing education. Oh, stop! There are people watching.
I enjoy working with them very much so.
But it's obviously something we're going to continue, and we're going to continue to invite guests to the broadcast, and we're happy to bring vendors. We just we're going to limit pitching. Obviously, we're not going to have folks come on here and sell their wares. So that's something we don't want the morning show to become. So we're going to continue to bring specialists and experts and different expertise so that folks can have that information to make better decisions in their business.
And I just wanted to read one more quote from the follow-up from the meetings we had yesterday. One of the participants said, "This is a great start to a new wave of positive impact across the industry. We start with independent auto, then on to helping and serving more industries. Let's go help some good folks build good businesses."
Nice.
And that's what we're doing. And I love getting that kind of feedback, because it's like you get what it is that our why is about helping good folks be able to help others, and helping consumers succeed, helping people to be able to communicate in a more effectively and open and transparent and kind way. So
Absolutely.
It's really good stuff.
Well, we can probably wrap up for today. Thanks again for following the morning show. Just don't forget, you can find us on YouTube. We're in the process, because of some changes at Facebook, we're in the process of having to adapt to the fact that they don't let us stream directly into groups anymore. So we will figure that out. We'll figure out how to make it available so that's easy. In the meantime, I would say just go find the morning show podcast. You can also YouTube. You're always going to be able to find us on YouTube. So there's just look up Jim Rhoads in the Octane group. It may now say Jim and Michelle Rhoads at the Octane group, but you can find the YouTube channel over there, and just please subscribe there. That way you'll be sure to make, you can find the live stream over there at any time. And then also just, you can visit the BHPH Morning Show podcast Facebook page would be another place to make sure you can catch it.
And if there's anything that we can do to help, like we mentioned earlier, is there's a lot of education that we've been able to bring and to help dealers. But a lot of times dealers have a hard time putting the pieces together and figuring out where to go, because, there's only so detailed and so customized that we can go on a podcast when it's going out to everybody. So if you need some help, please don't hesitate to reach out, call or text us. This is Jim's direct contact information, 903-816-0216. So if there's something that we can help you with.
If you have requests for topics, if you have certain subject that you want us to bring, text me there or call me, and let's plan that, because we're always wanting to try to make sure that the content that we're bringing to you is solving problems for you, helping you get answers, and you do that. But thanks for tuning in.
Thank you so much for making us part of your day for 300 episodes. We really, really appreciate that. And it's just the beginning. We're just getting started. Have a great day.